Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3402. Today's date is 30 April 2025. It's been almost like a night at 10:13, 10:13 p.m. All right. Okay. So we directly jump into the question. All right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's jump right into it. All right. Yeah. Now, question is, what can you learn about the future by studying in the past? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, where is this question came from? Okay, so a couple of days ago, I was actually watching the Demons of Leonardo. It's a web series based on Leonardo da Vinci. If you don't really know who is the Leonardo da Vinci, he is a person who made a Mona Lisa painting, world famous Mona Lisa painting. While watching that particular show, I was like really inspired by his thought process, like Leonardo's thought process. And by the way, he's not just a painter; he's just master of multiple things. He's a father of like mechanisms and things. He is like a really amazing. You just have to Google it, Leonardo da Vinci. You just find out he's really amazing species on this planet. Whatever. So while I was watching that particular show, I wanted to think like him. I wanted to think like him. So how do I supposed to? Yeah. So I went to ChatGPT and kind of like ask me such a question so that I would think like Leonardo da Vinci. And this is one of those questions. The question says that ki, what can you learn about the future by studying in the past? Okay. Uh Basically what I'm trying to tell you is this thing na ki our future is kind of like unpredictable. Obviously, yeah. But it's not really that unpredictable. We could predict our future. Example, tomorrow I will gonna do my stuff. Like tomorrow I will gonna wake up at 7 a.m., brush my teeth, and started doing my work at basically tomorrow I have to be export 100 files of artifact. Okay, yeah. Tomorrow I will gonna do that. Okay, as well as I also kind of like write my book, at least like a 50-20 pages I will gonna write my books. Okay, yeah. So this is actually will gonna happen tomorrow, but I will gonna predict that tomorrow this will gonna happen, and most probably almost like a 95% this will exactly gonna happen. This is what it is. Okay, yeah. Like what I'm trying to tell you is this thing. Now, predicting future is actually depend upon that key, how much you are looking at. Like basically is this thing. Now, if you are kind of like a predicting tomorrow, you can easily predict what will gonna happen tomorrow regarding about your past days, what exactly happened, been through, and everything. Okay, yeah. And you are gonna predict tomorrow, so it will almost like a 90 to 95% is almost exactly as it is. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a simply we are predicting future. Okay, yeah. Means like that we are predicting tomorrow, just tomorrow. Okay. If you are saying this thing that ki, can I predict my after 5 year or 10 year? Can I predict that? Well, yeah, I could somewhat predict that. Like basically after the 10 year, I might gonna run some sort of company. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna chairman of that company, as well as I have also my YouTube career too. And another thing is that after the 10 year, one thing for sure is that I'm gonna teach. Like I wanted to be a teacher and I wanted to teach people. Okay, as a students. Okay, yeah. So this is something I gonna do. Okay, yeah. This is not exactly in detail, but kind of like a something that stuff that I was thinking from the so much amount of time, and yeah. But this is also like a not something really that possible or not. Like basically it's something that now like I predict the future that this will gonna happen most probably. But the kind of like a something the success rate of that prediction is almost like a 20 or maybe 15%. Yeah, literally. Why? Is because of that ki future is, as I mentioned earlier, is unpredictable. There are multiple things that actually happen. Let me tell you my experience. I started this artifact episode in February 2015. Okay, yeah. At that time I was kind of like doing my engineering diploma. Okay, yeah. And I decided that after I complete my engineering diploma, I went to Bombay. Okay, I will gonna go to the Bombay and started doing my film career. Started doing as a like I wanted to be a director, I wanted to be a filmmaker. So I will gonna go to the Bombay and started doing my work. I started chasing my target and things like that. I decided that. Okay, yeah, I was so focused, so everything. Okay, yeah. But it just like it didn't really happen. It didn't really happen. Like after I complete my engineering diploma, I went to doing a job. I did this job. I did another job. I did this thing. Then after that, I came home. COVID happened, and yeah, like basically is this thing. Na, ki in 2015, I predict that ki 10 year I might gonna kind of like somebody making a movie over in a Bollywood or something like that. But right now, I am not. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, na, ki the prediction of the future is actually depend on who you are, what is your age, okay, and what kind of like some stuff that you have, so that your future might gonna predict. Example, like in 2015, I my age was almost like a 21, yeah, 21, 22 might be, okay, yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you, as every normal human person, from the age of 21 or like 20s is a kind of like a some age where things are happened so rapidly. Like basically, your college is done, you are kind of like went through relationship, you're gonna do marriage. Like basically, all the essential decision has to be happen in this 10 year. Okay, yeah. And this is kind of like a something very unpredictable. Like basically this thing, at 21 I decided that I wanted to be a filmmaker. But at the 31, I am not a filmmaker, so my prediction went wrong. Okay, yeah. So basically if I do this again, like basically if I do this thing ki, at 41 means like that ki after a 10 year I might gonna kind of like a run a company and this like that. Okay, yeah. So the prediction is kind of like a something good or not. Like basically it depends on na ki time. Okay, yeah. Like basically you have to be more focused. At the age of 21, yes, I am bit really focused, but I don't really understand the kind of like a potential, or kind of like I don't really understand what is actually the things is actually happen in the real world. Okay, yeah. Because at the 21, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I don't really consider that ki what will gonna happen in the real world, what kind of like a simply possible thing, what kind of like a simply problem that I should supposed to be face. There are so many stuff. Okay, yeah. But I didn't really think about that. I just wanted to be a filmmaker. I just kind of like in my dream, and I just wanted to be chase my dream. That's it. Okay, yeah. And I don't really understand the realism. Okay, yeah. But at the age of 31, like at the age of like today, at the age of 31, I understand how the world works. I understand what kind of like a something the potential steps that I should supposed to do it, which kind of like a implement on the real world. Okay, yeah. And this is what I'm doing right now, because right now, yeah, at the age of 31, I'm literally matured. I'm not taking spontaneous decision. I'm not taking any rational decision. I'm thinking wisely, understand it, what is actually right for me, what kind of like a step that I should supposed to take. I need to understand my budgets, my possible things, what kind of like a stuff that I'm gonna do it. And regarding about that, I'm kind of like a telling this thing. So what I'm trying to tell you, at the age of 21, I decided that I wanted to be a filmmaker. My possible future prediction rate is almost like a 10%, 10 to 15%. Yeah. But if I am taking, like at the age of 31, I decided that I'm gonna be chairman of this company and this like that. So my prediction rate is almost more than 50%. More than 50%. Might be 55 or 60%. But yeah, 50 to 40, 50 to 55%. This might be a prediction rate. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. And basically, if I'm kind of like a decide that at the age of 41 I decided that I wanted to be this at the age of 51, then my future prediction rate would be even more higher, maybe almost like a 70 to 75%. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, that ki at the age of 21, there are so many things that actually happen, like a more like there are a lot of crucial decision is actually happen at this 20s na. So probably you don't know what will gonna happen in the future. You don't know, like basically it's 20s is kind of like a something very unpredictable. Okay, yeah. And that's why it's kind of like a whatever stuff is actually happen, you don't know. And yeah. But since you age like a 31, 41, 51, you understand the life, you understand what is actually meant for you, you understand, you're becoming really matured, and you're trying to predict your future, and this will most probably gonna happen. Like basically I'm talking about the average point of perspective. I'm still kind of like a thinking that future is unpredictable, we don't know what will gonna happen, but still we gonna predict some sort of future regarding about we looked in the past and what will gonna happen. Like basically at the age of 21, I don't really have any past, means like that at the age of 21, before that I was a just kid and I don't really see in the real world and things like that. But at the age of 31, I seen my past, I seen my mistakes, what is actually kind of like a rational thing happened, and I understand how the world works. And because of this maturity and information that I have, which kind of like a let me predict what will gonna happen in the future. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. Like basically, if I wanted to predict some sort of future, I need a kind of like some experience of what is actually happened in my back, means like in my past. So let me tell you one thing: if you wanted to predict some sort of future, it is really essential to look at your past, and past is kind of like something helpful to predict the future. Okay, yeah. And it's happened on personal level too. It's happened on organizational level, country level, or at the planet level. Yeah, like it actually happened. And it's not just happened with us, it's happened with the universe. Yeah, it happened with the nature, it happened with the, I don't know, it's lot of thing. Okay, yeah. So let me tell you step by step regarding about that. Key question was that, key can we predict? Like a question is that key, can we learn from the future by inspiring the past? Yes. Yeah. How? Yeah, how? Like this is actually kind of like some this thing. How? Like as I mentioned regarding about this is my personal life. Okay, yeah. But still in our life. Okay, yeah, some things are actually happen in pattern. Okay, yeah. And that pattern is kind of like a help you to predict the future. Okay, yeah. What is the pattern? I wake up every day at 7 a.m, do my stuff. I went to work out at 6 p.m. Like this is kind of like my daily routine that I'm doing for past 5 year. Okay, yeah. So basically I am doing the same thing again. It called a pattern. Okay, yeah, you get it. It called a pattern. Everyone is follows the pattern. Everyone, like every person on the planet follows the pattern. Okay, yeah. Like basically there is some sort of person who is kind of like a, somebody, their life is kind of like a, somebody very crazy, but still almost like a 95% of the people are actually following some sort of routine, that means some sort of pattern. Okay, yeah. By looking at the pattern we could kind of like predict the future. Okay, yeah. Same thing happened with a kind of like some yearly basis. Like basically the monsoon is actually happened at the June, July, August, September, right, in our India. Okay. Winter is actually happen at October, November, December, January, February, January. Okay, this kind of like some winter is actually happened. Okay, yeah. Am I predicting that? Yeah, I am predicting that, and this will gonna definitely happen. Okay, yeah. So summer is actually happened at from the March, April, May, June, May. Okay, March, April, May. So basically these are kind of like a prediction that I have. Okay, yeah. So and this is definitely gonna happen because our earth is also kind of like a following the pattern too. Okay, yeah. It's not kind of like a something that ki, like earth is moving right now from east to west, and then another year it kind of like a went from west to east. No, it's not really happened that way. Okay, yeah. So everything, like as a human or any kind of like plant or any planets or everything is actually following some sort of patterns. Okay, yeah. Also countries have kind of like a some sort of party, like in US they have Republican party are actually elected. Okay, yeah. Then demographic party. So like because of this those party have kind of like a different agendas regarding about US, and which kind of like implement on the entire world. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing na ki, let's talk about the Donald Trump. Okay, so in 2016 or maybe, yeah, 16 or 17 maybe, yeah, no, not 16, in 2018, yeah, in 2018 Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Okay, yeah. And he was kind of like somebody against the Chinese and Chinese policy, and kind of like somebody against the China's infrastructure and everything. Okay, yeah. And he kind of like somebody started a trade war. What's a trade war? A trade war means like that na ki Chinese products shouldn't supposed to be sell at US market. Because of that it's not really good, because it kind of like add like economic deficiency, and basically the whatever the kind of like a something the transaction is actually happened, Chinese are kind of like a getting so much amount of value than US. So basically US are like a wanted to be kind of like a something that key they shouldn't supposed to be sell their item in our US market, is because it's a lot of things, dude. Okay, I don't want to talk about the economics right here, because I don't know regarding about that, and I'm not really qualified person regarding about that too. But still, what I'm trying to tell you is this thing na, in 2018 Donald Trump is kind of like against the Chinese person, against the China, and he wanted to start. He started the trade war. Okay, yeah. But then after that, Joe Biden was elected. Okay, yeah, and then Joe Biden is elected. Trade war is actually stopped. Okay, yeah. Now in 2025, Donald Trump is still again elected, and right now trade war is actually started. Okay, yeah, so this is what it is. Like basically, is this thing na, ki every person or every kind of like assembly election party or every kind of like assembly person, when when it came like like a when it came, we understand, we predict that ki this will gonna happen. Like if the Donald Trump came again, then probably the trade war will gonna happen against the China. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. So we could understand, we could predict the future regarding about the past events and things like that. All right, yeah. uh Also, another thing ki I'm gonna talk about the world war, but it went to so much deep. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't supposed to be go that much deep, but you understand. Okay, like basically regarding about the our past experience is kind of like a simply tell us what should we supposed to do, and we gonna do this thing. All right, yeah. So this is I should supposed to be end here, and thank you.